I mean, look at this poster. It's so amazing. Oh, hey, what's going on, kids? Oh, Lord Jesus, it's finally time. Yes, let's talk about the Sonic 2 movie. Actually, how hype was I for the first movie? Greetings, my children. It is TheMentok, the prophet, YouTube's savior, and we're finally down to this moment. Music, stop! I love how I had that total hype fest for the first movie, and I'm just like, hey guys, let's talk about Sonic movie 2. I guess that shows my evolution as a YouTuber, whatever. Can you actually believe I was more excited for this film than the first? So I'm gonna start off by just talking about the movie in general. I'm not gonna say any spoilers until the very end, so I'll warn you when I have spoilers. I'll do the spoiler warning that everybody else does in their movie reviews. But this movie was, I think, just as good as the first. So this movie brought a lot more to the table than the first one in terms of action and actual Sonic references. So I think the first movie did a great job at introducing Sonic as a character and getting him intertwined with human characters that are living on Earth after kind of explaining his backstory a little bit. And it served as character development for introducing Sonic and Eggman as characters. And Jim Carrey knocks it out the park once again. So I think that he did a great job understanding Robotnik and what his origins might be like, just driving further and further into madness. I love watching his interviews regarding this, and he really gets the character. So of course, he's always talking about the evolution of Eggman, and I think that he portrays that very well in this movie. So this movie has a lot more character development for both Sonic and Eggman, but also introducing Knuckles and Tails into the mix. And the human characters still actually have a purpose and role. I was a little concerned about that going into this film. So a brief synopsis without spoilers. Sonic is trying to find himself as a hero on Earth. He's trying to use his powers for good, and he's going around trying to help others, and it's not working out for him so well. Tom realizes that this isn't necessarily working out for Sonic, and they have a little heart-to-heart, great power, great responsibility type conversation before they go off to Hawaii for a wedding for Rachel. So Tom and Maddie leave to Hawaii with Sonic staying behind, and Eggman comes back. So with the help of Knuckles on Team Eggman, Sonic and Tails have to stop those two from finding the source of ultimate power, the Master Emerald. And that's kind of just the gist of the movie without spoiling too much. And I think that the cast and the entire Sonic the Hedgehog movie team had a lot more fun with this one. You could see just the amount of passion in both the marketing and in the roles. Like, they seem to really enjoy being a part of this film. Colleen O'Shaughnessy is reprising her role as Tails, so she's the one that does the voice acting for Tails in the actual games, which is great because a lot of fans wanted her to stick around for the role after seeing her cameo in the first film. So I'm glad that they kept her around because she does a great job. She has the most experience out of all of these people in the Sonic universe. So it was great to keep her there, and I think she does a great job. You're not going to be feeling like Tails is off character-wise in this film. I think the one major thing is that Tails could have gotten a lot more character development, and I'm not going to spoil why. I think that Tails was greatly overshadowed by Knuckles, and I understand that you had to build up this rivalry between Sonic and Knuckles in this film, but there's a lot that was left to be desired with Tails and explaining how he got to Earth in the first place. So as I mentioned before, there was a lot more action in this movie, which I think was lacking in the first one. We didn't get a lot of fight scenes or anything like that in the first one. It was like that silly bar fight and then like a couple of Eggman interactions between him and Sonic where, he was taking out some robots. This one has a lot more action in it, and I think it's very Sonic oriented. It's high-speed action. So if that was anyone's concern for this movie, don't worry, they have it covered. The action scenes are there. The CG effects at times were like a little choppy. I saw some moments where you could clearly tell that the green screen was being employed there. But aside from that, I like the action scenes, and honestly, I can't wait to see more in the sequel, and I hope that they do it bigger and better next time around. The major critique I had about this movie was the pacing. So it's 2 hours long, and a lot of people say that that's a long time for the movie. I didn't feel like the movie overstayed its welcome too much, but I would have loved to see more things explored than other scenes that were in the movie. There was a lot of time at that wedding for Rachel that was dedicated, and I understand the significance of those scenes for character development, etc. But I think that a lot more could have been explored for, Tails and Knuckles as characters. Rather than dedicating it to the wedding and things like that, because the pacing kind of seemed off at times and a bit rushed, and I think that maybe they had to cut out things from the script to make room for others. Otherwise it would have been way too long. So even though it was 2 hours long, I honestly think that more could have been done with those 2 hours, if that makes sense. Pacing was a little off. They were trying to cram in a lot of details in a short amount of time. So overall, you're gonna enjoy this movie just as much as the first one. If you like the first one, definitely go see this. It has a lot more gaming references in there. If you guys spot any Easter eggs, go ahead and leave them in the comments below because there is a ton of Easter eggs in this one. If you're trying to avoid spoilers, then I think you should avoid the comments section. But yeah, let me know if you find any other Easter eggs because I had a blast spotting them and I felt excited just seeing certain things pop up on screen. So with that said, I'm gonna move on to spoilers so I can talk a little bit more about that. You've been warned, spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1. I honestly thought that this movie would explore the relationship between Sonic and Tails a lot more than it did. I'm not saying that those scenes aren't there, but when they happen, it is like the greatest thing on screen. Just having that best friend relationship form on screen in front of our eyes, it's pretty dope. So the main issue I had with it is that Tails' backstory wasn't really explained. Apparently he's been watching Sonic and has been a big fan of him and decides to warn him about Eggman and Knuckles coming to the planet, I believe. I'll have to watch it a second time to really nail that detail down. But it looks like he's from a separate world. I'm not sure if he's from the same world as Sonic and Knuckles because it's not really like explained too much. He goes to warn Sonic on Earth and then kind of like they form this buddy relationship as they go to stop Eggman and Knuckles. But I think Tails is really overshadowed by Eggman coming back, number one, because Jim Carrey steals the show once again as Eggman. He's just so menacing this time around, especially when he gets his hands on the emerald. So of course, they managed to track down the emerald in Hawaii, which coincidentally is where the wedding is taking place. But Sonic tracks it down, him and Knuckles scrap, and then Eggman takes that opportunity to steal the emerald. So he manages to take the Master Emerald and use the powers, and he can just turn things into reality, thoughts into power, which they take directly from the games, and I love that.
The 7 emeralds can change our thoughts into power.
I love that so much. So he builds the Death Egg robot out of his powers of the Master Emerald, and Jim Carrey knocks that out the park so well. The transformation of this character from like a mad scientist to like this godlike mad scientist that can create things at his will, it's amazing. So as I said before, all this is going on, it was very hard for Sonic and Tails to kind of get that bond and character development. Tails is kind of put on the back burner after a while. But they do work together, him, Sonic, and Knuckles, after, Knuckles realizes he's being betrayed and tricked by Eggman, to stop the Death Egg robot in this Sonic Heroes fashion. So the three of them work together, and it's just this crazy, amazing scene where all three of them are contributing their abilities to take down the Death Egg robot. So after like a huge struggle, they manage to get the Master Emerald from the Death Egg robot, and, Tom and Maddie go to help out Sonic, and they drive out there, and he's just completely hurt and can barely move. So he clutches the Master Emerald and it breaks apart into the 7 Chaos Emeralds in this amazing reveal scene where he turns into Super Sonic. Yes, we had Super Sonic in this movie. So I thought it was just amazingly well done. There's even a Sonic X reference, like when the Death Egg attacks Sonic and he stops the arm of the Death Egg robot with his hand. So there's no like crazy liberties that this movie took, even though it's in a completely different universe, and I think this movie kind of solidifies that idea that it's a completely different Sonic universe. Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, Super Sonic, everybody looks like their game counterparts and carries that personality in their own unique way. So shout out to all the voice actors. Idris could do a little bit better, but you can tell that he was enjoying his time with the role. I'm not sure if he's just not used to voice acting and he's more of an actor. But I heard that he was reading, like, I don't know, for some reasons, Idris sitting there reading comic books and Knuckles lore to figure out how to get best into the character. It makes me feel great. I don't know why. So you find out that the Guardian United Nations was formed just as a counter to Robotnik's rampage in the first movie. And I think that they're also exploring like extraterrestrials like Sonic, for example. And, there's a whole plot point with that. So I won't go too deep into that, but there's like a huge reveal there. And at the very end of the movie, in the post-credits, they are wiping Eggman's names from all systems. And they said, we found something in the midst of wiping Eggman's names. It was Project Shadow from 50 years ago. And like my inner child was screaming in my head. And honestly, they cut to the laboratory and you see Shadow in a capsule. And like, I didn't think that Shadow would be revealed so soon, but I know they only have a certain amount of movies to actually like get that character introduced. So I'm glad that that was put in there. I'm wondering if that's going to be like a Thanos move and Sonic 3 is going to be about something else. And then Shadow's going to be like, fine, I do it myself and grab the Infinity Gauntlet. I think it was a great reveal. I was dodging Twitter and social media for like a week and a half because I heard that the ending leaked. I mean, I kind of assumed, but I didn't see the ending. So when I saw it in the theaters, I was still super excited. I hope that Jim Carrey reprises his role as Eggman moving forward. There's been rumors about his retirement and all that. So we'll see going forward. Who knows when that movie is going to drop? Maybe it's going to be another 2.5 years or so. They're trying to make a whole cinematic universe out of it. I don't know what that would entail, but hopefully one day it leaks into the whole Mario project that's going on, and we see more video game stuff, because I'm tired of the Marvel stuff. I'm tired of the superhero stuff. Let's get some video game stuff going. I've been saying this for days. Come on, Sega, let's go. Let's get this done. Aside from that, I would rate the movie about a 7 out of 10. If you're a Sonic fan, it's an 8 out of 10. It's more of what you would expect out of a Sonic movie, and a lot more references to the games. This is definitely a franchise that's in good hands. And if you just want to go out there and have a fun time and watch a fun movie, this movie's the one to do it. You don't have to be too well versed with the first movie to get this one, but I would say watching both back to back would be quite the experience. You can tell that it's a kids movie at times, but for me, someone who grew up with Sonic, I love the shit out of this movie. So tell me what you thought of the movie in the comments below. If you had any Easter eggs that I didn't discuss in this video, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm out of here. Be safe. The Prophet has spoken.